What's going on, guys? It's been a little while since I've done an update and wanted to do a little bit of an overview on the markets. Just wanted to give you a little update on kind of what I've been working on here. We're working on basically some more roofing kind of attached to my house, and making a space for the rainwater. So right now it's full of water. Rained pretty hard last night. This is kind of some of the projects I've got here, and I've had several things I've been dealing with, but I'm gonna be refocusing on crypto and looking at some different possibilities on upcoming things. There's some different options and projects that have been doing so well. I want to give a little bit of an update on some of the things I was talking about recently. So mint stake share, trunk, give you some of my thoughts on that. So first, with mint stake share, there's been now two kind of major hacks, and I don't know if what we're being told is the truth or reality. I haven't been as much in the chat to kind of know what's going on. It seems like there's a lot of sell pressure on the project right now. I think there is a little bit of lost faith with some of those things. I do think, though, that there's some positive aspects. So for one, the locked liquidity, still almost has like $1 million in locked liquidity. So even if there's all of the sell pressure, there's like 10% of that feeding into the liquidity pool on people selling. So there's going to always be something in that liquidity pool. So it may, if there's not a lot of buy pressure, if there's not a lot of new people getting in, you're going to kind of see it essentially kind of slowly drain out. And that might be the future of what we see with that project, kind of worst case scenario. Though, if it does get, a breath of new life, I know they're doing some sort of redeploy. Again, like, I'm not as up on all of the specifics on some of that. There might be some other people that would know more about that than I would. But in my opinion, it's a downtime right now. I think we'll probably see another surge of buy pressure at some point. I don't know when that's going to be. It may drain out for several months before something like that happens. But I think there's going to be a market for it. And I think it's going to have some longevity in terms of, always being around. So, my strategy is, before was I was essentially, I had 2 days where I was withdrawing and selling, and then the other 5 days I'm compounding. And at that rate, essentially I'm pulling out 2%, but I'm compounding 10%. So my account is continuing to grow. So even as the prices are going down, I'm still able to grow my account, and I'm still able to withdraw some. So I haven't ROI'd, and but I have been able to pull out, maybe a third, I would say, a third of the money, that I put into it. So, so that's one way you can minimize your risk. I've gotten some questions recently on people wanting to know, my thoughts on that. So that's kind of how I see things. I think there could be, more like a second breath of life. It could come back a little bit, but it's, it's tough to say, because when some of those hacks happened, I think there was a real loss of confidence, and it's going to take time for that really to come back. So it may be in a little bit of like a lull phase, where in maybe a few months, once this passes and we see things kind of calm down, and maybe it just kind of hits some sort of relative bottom, there could be a surge of activity. I guess that would be one of the things I would be looking at if you're looking to get into that project, is to kind of keep an eye on the charts, and if there's some renewed optimism with the project, then that might be a good time to look at getting back in. So now with Trunk has continually been on a little bit of a decline, and that's kind of unfortunate to see. I think you could see something similar. My worry is that it's now kind of tied to the futures project, and they've made that in a way where you're not able to withdraw as much, and it kind of feeds into this sustainability aspect to the ecosystem. So I think with bank teller, potentially could have made that more sustainable with some of the changes that he's made, and so perhaps that comes back. You're still getting a fairly good rate when you compound, but you're not able to withdraw as much on futures. And on top of that, it's kind of tied into Trunk. So if Trunk is able to recover and really take off, we could see a renewed optimism with Trunk, with the elephant money ecosystem, and we've seen that several times in the past. Right now, there's just more sellers than buyers, and bank teller needs to regain the trust that has been lost a little bit with some of these recent happenings in elephant money. I think maybe a safer play might be a little bit more of like grid trading, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So kind of almost like a grid bot. So buying low, selling high. Kind of doing something like that, playing a little bit with the volatility with major altcoins. I'm looking to perhaps build a little bit with that. Building some accounts. I was pretty into some of the trading bots, and I'm looking at maybe getting back into that a little bit, and having some automation behind some of the grid trading. I think that could be a good strategy. There's also, you could kind of set that up, from a leverage standpoint, like maybe doing like a 3x leverage and essentially kind of, putting, lower orders and playing with leverage a little bit, doing kind of a grid trading strategy on something maybe that's a little bit more stable like Bitcoin. But, some of the other smaller altcoins might have a little bit more play in the price where you could really start to see, some good profits that way. So, I'm looking at a lot of different strategies to kind of enhance what I'm doing, enhance my portfolio. So I can give you guys updates on some of that. I just need more time to really kind of dive into some of those things. Some of the higher risk plays, some of the higher risk options, some of those I'm always kind of keeping an eye out for some of those because there is a lot of upside potential with those. One of the ones I feel like is not as high risk but kind of in the high risk category is the things going on with Growth DeFi. I've been talking with Ghost, the founder, and some of the things he's been working on. I mean, there's a lot of work being done, to work on some of that, and there's quite a bit of upside with that. Like, I really think that is a really good play. If you've been following my channel and watching me long enough, I've been talking about Growth DeFi for a long time. That's a very legit project. There's a lot of trust that's been built up over the last, what is that, like 6 years or something, 5-6 years that it's been around. It's been around a long time. So the 4WMM is a token that I'm holding, and that's recently been going up in price, and they're going to be coming out with their new 7WMM token very, very soon. And that, if you're in on the ground floor with that, that's has a lot of profit potential. Extremely low supply of 420 tokens. There's 7 tokens that are going to be reflected, so it's just like 4WMM, but it's dealing with 7 tokens. It's going to be putting buy pressure on 4WMM, and also the Grow token. Grow is an extremely low supply. I'm holding a lot of Grow, and I think between some of the top holders, there's not a whole lot of liquid supply left. So, and the people that are holding Grow are not selling. So there's not a lot of liquidity. And I mean, $1,000 in Grow pumps the price like crazy. Same with some of these other coins. So there's a lot of low liquidity, on it, and that can really be beneficial for some really serious price action. And this is something I think that's going to be continued to be worked on, and there's been a lot of development with that. So I'm going to do another video going a little bit more into 7WMM, as that's launching really soon. So for those of you guys that are sticking around to the end of this video and watching me, that might be a gem for you to look into. those projects have done really well. I think the risk is minimal. You know, I don't see those going down a whole lot in price. I really feel like this is going to be something getting in, you know, right around now before a lot of the stuff really takes off. There's a lot of larger investors that are looking to get into that. There's a lot of true DeFi behind what Growth DeFi has been building. So, you know, that's a project that I'm watching. You know, I've got my ears open for a lot of other projects. If you have any that you think would be worth for me checking out, you know, feel free to drop those in the comment section below and let me know. You know, if there's some projects I should be checking out. But yeah, I think I might have a little bit more of a you know, a low risk strategy with getting into you know, grid trading. Some low leverage trading, and I'm going to be doing some more vids in the future where I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the market and where I see things going. I've had you know, a pretty good eye for the market in terms of where I feel like things are going if I can kind of break down some of the charts. So those videos aren't as popular, they don't do as well, but I've been on the money, you know, for the most part when I've given my predictions and seeing how I mean, I've been batting pretty well with some of those. So I think I might be getting into those a little bit more. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.